This is the new 7Artisans 50mm f1.8 autofocus lens mounted on a Sony a7 Mark IV. And when it was introduced to the market, everyone was like, it's really big for just an f1.8. Doesn't make any sense. My name is Thomas, and today I want to find out how good this thing is. Let's have a go. Disclaimer, this lens was provided to me by 7Artisans for this review. This is sort of a pre-production lens, so let's have a go. And 7Artisans, many thanks for your support. This is 7Artisans' very first autofocus lens, and it's a full frame lens. As I said before, it feels really massive. It's 420 grams. It has 11 lens elements and 9 groups, which is a lot for a 1.8 50mm lens. So clearly they put some effort into this thing. It's got a nice aperture ring. Well, the idea is nice. What I do not like so much, it's only clickless. You cannot click it. There is supposed to be an indent when you move to the A section, but on this sample, you hardly feel it. Apart from that, a very, very nice focusing ring that has a huge focus throw. It's focused by wire, but it doesn't really feel like that. So it's kind of, it doesn't go faster if you turn the ring faster or slower if you turn it slower. It feels very linear, which is a good thing in my opinion, if you need the manual focus. And you've got a AF-MS switch here. Again, this is kind of, it moves way too easily. There should be a stronger indent, or maybe they should turn the direction of the switch, because as it is now, when you hold the lens, you're always pushing it. That's not so good. Overall, the fit and finish of the lens feels very good though. It's all metal parts, the outer parts. I don't know about the internals. And of course, it's a fully electronic lens with all the contacts. Comes with a USB cable, so for future firmware updates, which is a good idea. And it's internal focus, very silent focus. So overall, it feels very, very well. That's a good thing. Maybe here. Well, that was the Bird AF experience, and autofocus feels really, really snappy, and also you don't feel any lenses moving forth and back or anything like that. It feels like a Sony lens in that respect, fast and snappy. As you see, it reacts pretty fast to going from close to fast. And again, it's very, very silent autofocus, so in comparison to the other f1.8 lenses that I know, this is much better. But of course, most other 50mm lenses will be f1.4. Let's check for chromatic aberration, f1.8 and some branches in front of the sky. Sometimes you need depth of field, that's why I have to stop down here, for example, to f11. And just a word about the close focus distance, 50 centimeters, which is okay for a 50mm full frame lens. It's not great, it's not super bad. I would have preferred if it would focus down to like maybe 40 or 35 centimeters though. About sharpness I don't need to say a lot, because this lens, yes, it is very, very sharp. So I can shoot this landscape already at f1.8, it's good. (2.8 to 4). Perfect. No issues whatsoever with the sharpness. That is very, very good. There is some chromatic aberrations going on and also some purple fringing. Yes, you can correct that in post, you know. This is a modern lens. They all rely a little bit on digital correction, but the sharpness itself is very good already at f1.8. This switch, AF/MF, it's so easy to move, and you just put away the camera and it will end up at MF, and then you pick it up and it doesn't focus. I think that should really be rectified somehow. This is a small error. Of course you can tape on it or something, but that's not the point. Everything else on this lens is beautiful in terms of handling, but this switch is not. It is kind of recent that someone picked it up here, huh? So wet, yeah. Let's do it like, oh, I'm way too close. Like something like this. Ooh, and I don't want a tree. Click. Nice bokeh, and you see that 51.8 can already create a lot of bokeh. It has a little bit of oval-shaped bokeh balls towards the corners of the frame, so there is a little bit of geometric vignetting going on despite the size of this lens. But overall, I think the bokeh is good. And there is a hint also of onion rings in the bokeh balls. That's maybe because there are some spherical elements in it. Not perfect, but good. I was looking for aperture stars, but not there. But anyhow, this thing has a 11-pointed aperture. I think this is the point where we put in a detail shot. 11-pointed aperture makes for 22-pointed sun stars, which are a lot of points on the sun stars. I show you some night shots. There are lenses that make 10-pointed sun stars, 8-pointed, 14-pointed, 22-pointed. It's a bit up to you which one you like the most. Just have a look at the night shots for yourself. Nice for a landscape already at f4. I really like the sharpness of this lens. Again, this is a very, very sharp and detailed lens. That's good, but 11 lens elements, you expect that, of course.
Okay, yeah, you can come closer. Yeah.
Okay, and now I go away.
Mm-hmm.
We're checking the focus breathing of this lens. We just made a small shoot with the A7 IV and the 50mm 7Artisans lens about the focus breathing, and as you can see it's pretty low, so that's maybe good for you video guys. Personally, I don't care so much about that, but yeah, I know it's an important issue for many of you. Regarding Straylight performance, many of these lenses from Chinese manufacturers have some issues with that, but the 7Artisans 50mm lens turns in a good performance in my opinion. Remember, you can make every lens look bad in that regard if you push it too hard, but overall I'm pretty happy with the performance here. Time for the verdict. So this scene, by the way, is filmed with the new 7Artisans 50mm lens. That's why I don't have it in my hand right now. So the price is around $200. The lens was released in March 2024. For this price point, I think we have a really good lens here. It's super sharp at open aperture. It has all the modern amenities like internal super silent autofocus. Works very well also for video, at least from our trials. There's a lot to like. On the minus side, the lens is big and heavy, especially for an f1.8 lens. It's just, I think it's maybe the biggest f1.8 lens ever made, I don't know. And it's not weather sealed. Okay, $200, you maybe can't ask for that. And last not least, I had two small complaints about the manual focus switch that moves way too freely, and the auto aperture setting on the aperture ring. There also should be some sort of a really working detent, but maybe that's a pre-production problem and it has been solved for the production run, I don't know. Keep in mind, I only have this one sample. Again, the optics are super fantastic. Also centering was super good, but of course I don't know how it will be in the mass production run, so sample to sample variation, I can't tell you anything about it. I do know that all these manufacturers are learning a lot and I hope that they will get it right. Overall, $200, again, I think it's the best f1.8 lens for your Sony camera. So yeah, it gets a thumbs up from me. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, maybe found it even useful. If you did so, then please leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And if you've got any questions or comments about this lens, write something in the comment section below. I love to read all your comments. I will happily answer every single one of them. So have a great time, live long and prosper, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.